Electioneering for assembly elections in Uttarakhand gained momentum as only 2 days are left for campaigning for the single-phase assembly elections, which will be held on the 15th of February. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and several BJP leaders to address rallies across the state. Uttar Pradesh witnesses good voter participation for first phase of polls. About 65% polling takes place among heavy security in western UP. Deputy Election Commissioner said that the voting process was very peaceful. Amidst continuous desertions by key leaders and some MLAs towards Paneer Selvam's camp, AIA-DMK General Secretary Sasikala holds discussions with supporting MLAs. Says she will look into available alternatives and threatens protesting outside Raj Bhavan. RBI Governor Urjit Patel has exhorted banks to reduce their lending rates to push credit demand in laggard segments, saying banks have benefited from influx of low-cost deposits and its previous repo rate cuts. Says, as the weighted average lending rate reduction has been considerably less, there is some scope for further reduction in lending rates. Chairman of Central Board of Direct Taxes, Sushil Chandra, has said that the government's recent decision to crack down on deviant shell companies that launder money is part of the government's anti-black money drive. He said that the decision to lower the limit of anonymous cash donations to less than 2,000 rupees is in line with the Election Commission's recommendations. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addresses a massive rally in Badaun on Saturday, scheduled to go to polls on the 15th of February. Taking a dig at Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav's Kaam Bolta Hai slogan, Prime Minister says it was the SP leader's Karnama, misdeed, which spoke for him. BSP Supremo Mayawati accuses the Akhilesh government of making false arrests targeting a specific community. Speaking at a rally in Saharanpur, says that if elected to power, the BSP would investigate all such arrests. Police identified those burglars who were involved in the theft at Nobel laureate Kailash Satyarthi's house. Sources say police have identified the burglars involved in the crime and are likely to be nabbed soon. The two founders of Panamanian law firm Mossack Fonseca were arrested on Saturday, the Attorney General's office said, after both were indicted on charges of money laundering in a case allegedly tied to a wide-ranging corruption scandal in Brazil. North Korea fired an unidentified projectile into the sea. South Korean defense officials said that the missile was launched at 7:55 local time and flew east towards the Sea of Japan. Initial reports had described it as ballistic missile. Pyongyang has conducted a number of nuclear tests in the past year. EU President Commission Jean-Claude Juncker has admitted that Britain's negotiations are likely to leave the European Union open to splits in the bloc. He said he fears that Britain will divide the Union's 27 remaining members by making different promises to each country during its Brexit negotiations. Angola announced an investigation into a stadium stampede that killed at least 17 and injured scores as the nation's president. The host team and witnesses blamed the deaths on police error. Children were among the victims in what has been described as the country's worst football tragedy. Jiro Taniguchi, a legend in Japan's comic art of manga, died in Tokyo on Saturday at the age of 69, leaving behind an international following for his exquisite line drawing of scenes from everyday life. Turkish troops and their Syrian rebel allies have entered the Islamic State-held town of Al-Bab in northern Syria as government forces move closer to the jihadist bastion. Military sources say that one Turkish soldier was killed and another wounded in clashes with IS in Al-Bab. Bangladesh looked to salvage the situation and avoid a follow-on as it resumed batting on day 3 in Hyderabad Test today. It ended day 2 at 322 runs for the loss of 6 wickets. It needs 166 runs to avoid a follow-on.